It's September 2024 and we're heading north to hunt water buffalo, big boars and wild donkey. But before we can get our boots on the ground, there's 3,200 kilometres and 40 hours of driving to get through. Arriving late the night before, our first day was spent checking out the neighbours and exploring likely locations for game. September in the Northern Territory means 35 to 40 degree days, dry dusty conditions and the rapid evaporation of groundwater. After a full day exploring, we decided to spend the last hours of light glassing a local lagoon. It was day 2 and we decided to change things up a little and cross a major river system. Immediately we were into very different country and soon spotted a lagoon with fresh buffaloes on it. We were learning on the go and were realising the buffalo like a certain type of water that would allow them to spend long hours partially submerged and shaded from the sun. Along for the ride was Adam. This was his first time hunting the Northern Territory and buffalo, and his chance was just around the corner.
Hit him. Hit him again. See him? He's hit. You got him. Hit him.
A big part of our planning for this year's hunt was bringing back as much meat as we could. A buff, even a small buff, is a big animal, and the heat combined with hunting on foot meant we had to be selective and get the meat and any trophy we might want back to camp as quick as we could. Over the following days, time and again we found dedicated meat hauler packs like the Tadonka Modulus to be worth every cent. We were starting to pick up patterns in buffalo behaviour. Unlike cattle, the buffalo seemed to like to water towards midday and would stay on that water until mid-afternoon. We had heard of a lagoon system known as the Swamp, and around 11:30 AM we decided to check it out. On the far edge of the swamp we spotted 3 buffalo, a small calf, a juvenile cow, and a larger buffalo standing by itself. While the wind was in our favour, we would have to sneak past the younger animals to get to our target. We hatched a plan that would take us slightly below eye line by sticking close to the water's edge, which in the territory can be a scary plan. It was almost perfect until the younger buffalo spooked.
Well, here we go. This is buff 3 for the trip. We've come down to this area here where there's lots of water, as you probably heard Mark say. We stalked in and we came in just down that side, and Mark spotted this guy, this young bull, here in the shade in the bank. So we planned our stalk and we came in. Just a bit further west of where he was a cow and a calf under the tree over there, and so we had to be really, really careful. We followed the water line so we could stay nice and low behind the bank, and we had plenty cover. He was none the wiser, he didn't know we were there. We kind of ran out of cover. We had a big tree between us and him, which was blocking his view of us, but we had that cow and that calf over there. and all we wanted to do was get to that big tree and shoot from there. But the cow and the calf got spooked. They must have seen movement, and they ran straight to him. The calf actually ran sort of in behind him, and I thought they were going to make a run for it. So I took the shot, and I smacked him straight on the shoulder. Perfect shot there on the shoulder. I saw a good reaction to the shot, and Mark put a couple in with the double just to be sure, but he didn't go far. He ran probably 10 meters. So yeah, nice young bull, not a big one. It was just a mob of 3 down here in the water. You can see they've been here for a while. This is their home. But yeah, buff number 3, my second buff. Pretty happy. We've learnt, or we're learning, continually learning up here in this tough country about these animals. We realised that the cows come into water on first light or in the mornings, and they stay away. They're coming onto water at this time, so it's 12:30 now. We shot them half an hour ago. So yeah, these guys are coming onto water around 1. And there's plenty of water here, and I think that's key. You need a lot of water and some cover close by, and that's where they are. So yeah, we're gonna butcher this guy up. He's a bit skinny, but we'll get the back straps out. We'll get the head off, and we'll probably take one of the back legs, given it's not too big. Should make good eating. We'll bone that out, get it in the fridges and get chilled down. Should make beautiful eating. Thanks, buddy. We've still got 3.5 days, so I think we should get a couple more, definitely. We've got to get Mark one now, and we've got to get a Pepe. We've got to get a donkey just to get the Northern Territory Grand Slam. So let's see how we can go. Thanks, guys.
It was a great stalk, and even better, Adam was able to get the truck right to the buffalo. With some midday success, we decided to take it easy for the rest of the day and explore by truck. In the afternoon, we spotted an old boar and managed to get him on the ground. Joining us in camp this year was Michael, a dedicated bow hunter and regular on the Hunters Campfire podcast. We were all keen to get Michael into the best possible position to take a buffalo. With Trevor, another first-timer, providing backup, they approached a solid bull buffalo in the early afternoon as it slowly moved away from a lagoon. Bow hunting really is a game of percentages, and this time, unfortunately for Michael, the numbers weren't in his favour. So far, I'd spotted buffalo, filmed buffalo, and even played second gun on buffalo hunts. Now it was my time to step up, but first we had let this dingo pass without spooking it. Normally I would have taken the shot, but a double rifle, 0 to 50 yards, is hardly adequate for taking wild dogs. And once you make that shot, if you miss, they become very suspicious of two-legged predators.
you win. Here you go. Yep.
Okay, so I think it's day 3. I think it's Monday. Yesterday we came into this area and Adam picked up his first buffalo. And breaking a bit of a personal rule, we came back again. We discussed it, because generally I don't like to go to the same places days in a row, but we decided to try it out. And as we came in, you'll see the footage, there was 2 dingoes on the dam, or on the billabong, and they were completely oblivious to us. One was sitting in the water, the other one walked off, and actually we saw it on Adam's carcass from yesterday. As we were heading towards, there is another dam that way, or another linked billabong that way, and then there's another one a long way away, and our idea was to head up there for the afternoon. However, as we swung out of the first one, Jono picked up some shimmer on the tree line, which was where we were heading, and sure enough it was 3 buffalo. There's one there, and there's a third one over there. So Adam's now picked up his second buffalo, and they were actually not running away from us but cutting us. So we came directly across and intersected them, and it's hard to tell, but it looks like they were heading uphill. So it looks like they've been to water, they've had a wallow because they're covered in mud and water, and now they're going up to bed up in the hill areas, probably because it's a bit cooler. So we, rather than pursue them, we intersected them, and we probably hit the first one at about 50 yards. This one here took some stopping, actually. Took a few shots to stop it. This one went down first shot. It's a pretty powerful lung shot by the looks of it. And then Adam, as I said, there was a third, and it didn't move off, so Adam picked up his second buffalo. So there's one a bit further away. So Adam's gone back to the vehicle to get some tools, and we're having to sit down in the shade because we expect this is going to be our afternoon now. We're going to try and take some more meat, take a couple more trophies, and then lug them back to the vehicle. And we need to see a donkey next, I suppose.
Got to finish that slam.
That's right. And for those wondering, it's small, but it's mighty. It's a Chapuis X4 in 9.3 by 74R with an aim point on it. At the range, it's a brutal kicker. Out here in the real world, it's perfect. It really does the job, and it hits very hard. Timber recoil pad, or timber pad, not really recoil pad, timber, but you know what? You don't feel it when you're shooting it. When it's all happening, you don't feel it. It's doing its job. So as soon as Adam gets back, we're going to get into some work. Here we go. Look at that. I reckon that's a 9.3 by 62R, 186 grain projectile.
Look at that.
Almost a through and through.
Yeah, that's often where they stop, is under the skin.
Yeah, and look how thick that skin is.
That's what stops them.
So it went all the way from there and stopped there.
To give you a perspective on width.
I might be keeping that one.
I think you should be, mate.
Well, that's my part of the Hunters Campfire Buffalo Express for 2024. Soon enough, it was time to head home. We just had to navigate a nighttime bushfire first.